What are you waiting for, huh? What are you waiting for, huh? What am I waiting for? What am I waiting for? I'll show you what I'm waiting for. F you. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's your girl Movie Bae, and in this video I'm going to be doing a review over I Know What You Did Last Summer 2025. Same plot, different characters. But before we get into it though, I would like for you all to consider subscribing to the channel if you're new. Here on Movie Bae, I do reviews, reactions, and commentary to movies and television, and if that's the type of content you like, then you are in the right place. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button, turn on the post notification bell so you can be alerted every time I upload. Now if you are a returning subby, hey y'all, what's up? Go ahead and hit that thumbs up button to help push your girl into the YouTube algorithm, and of course leave your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. Now if you've never done a movie review with me before, we're going to get into the synopsis followed by my spoiler-free review and recommendations, and then we are going to get into the spoilers. So if that's something that you're interested in, please stay tuned. All right, let's go ahead and get into the synopsis. I Know What You Did Last Summer 2025. A group of friends are terrorized by a stalker who knows about a gruesome incident from their past. This is written and directed by Jennifer Caden Robinson, starring a whole new gang of people. I'm not even going to butcher their names, okay? But they are right there listed down there for you. But most importantly, we have reprising roles from Jennifer Love Hewitt and Freddie Prinze Jr. And y'all, Freddie Prinze Jr. looks good. Okay, I said, when did he turn into a silver fox? Is that Freddie Prinze Jr.? Let me re-Google this real quick to make sure that he in this. That's him? Y'all, when I say how Freddie Prinze Jr. looked good, he was a silver fox, gained a little weight up on him, voice dropped some octaves. Oh yeah, Freddie Prinze was giving it up, okay? And Jennifer Love Hewitt looks good. I know it's a tweet going around. Some ignorant mother had the nerve to compare her 17, 18-year-old self to her now, however old she is, and she still looks good. I don't know about y'all in y'all community, but in my community, curves are good, okay? So shout out to both of them for coming back, reprising their same roles, and looking good while they're doing it, okay? So let's go ahead and get into the pros of this particular film, and then we'll talk about the rooms for improvement, all right? So first and foremost, as my thumbnail stated, same movie, different characters, same plot, different characters, all right? But a good thing about this is it is aligned to the original, the first movie in particular. Lots of callbacks. Like I said, they follow the formula dang near exact, except they gonna switch it up a little bit, and as they should. We'll get to more of those when it comes to our spoiler section, but I liked that they made you think you knew what was going to happen, and then they said, just kidding, we're not going to do that, it's going to be like this time. All right, so I really appreciated that. Speaking of psych outs, there were some horror trope psych outs as well. You would think that, oh, the killer's going to be right there, oh, he gonna get snatched up right here, and it's like, oh, he not? Oh, okay. I mean, the music would make you think that, the camera angle would make you think that, and it doesn't happen that way. So I was like, all right, okay. Because if you can get me, as many movies as I watch, especially horror movies, I know the formula. And if you could get me, you did a good job. Miss Jennifer Robinson, you did a good job with directing. I will say that. All right, and my last pro is going to be realistic actions and responses. So I know what y'all thinking, especially if you've seen the movie already. Movie Bae, realistic actions and responses? Yes, because even though there were some unrealistic moments, and we're going to talk about that later, there were some realistic actions in here as well. So when I say that, each character in this movie did not go down without a fight, and that I can appreciate. So definitely an action-packed movie, especially one scene in particular. I was like, yes, you better look. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, no character went down without a fight. To me, there were some fairly smart characters for the most part, and I could just appreciate that, because some people would just lay there, scoot back, oh no, please don't kill me. No, they about to be punching, hitting, running, slicing. The killer is not going to just be kicking people off like that. You know what I'm saying? So I could really appreciate that when it comes to this. Realistic responses. The character, I believe his name is Tyreek Tyreek Withers, he plays Teddy in here, and I liked his dialogue. I felt like he has great comedic time, and I looked up his IMDb, and he played on Atlanta. I don't know how many episodes, but he was on Atlanta, the game. I knew he looked familiar, but I didn't know all the things that he was in, and he'll also be in that movie Him, coming out I think in August or September, with Marlon Wayans, directed by Jordan Peele. So he's gonna have a good year. But anyways, I liked his lines of dialogue. I felt like there were some things that I would say, and he was like the comedic relief character in the movie. So and it was tasteful. It wasn't too much, you know what I'm saying? So I definitely looked at that as a pro as well. All right, now let's go ahead and pro, of course, like I said, Freddie Prinze Jr. looks good. Jennifer Love Hewitt looks good. And Jennifer Love Hewitt definitely stepped into her Sydney Prescott bag. She was giving Billy Badass. You know what I'm saying? So kudos to her for stepping up that final girl role and really stepping into her, you're not about to with me. Okay? She's not exactly Sydney Prescott, but she never was, right? All right. So let's go ahead and get into our rooms for improvement. All right. So just like some things are realistic, there are some things you have to suspend your disbelief for. And I don't like doing that a lot. Because if some things okay. But like, if it's more than one thing where I'm like, just like in this Tyler Perry Destination Wedding movie, too much. I had to suspend my disbelief too much in that particular movie because nothing made sense. But in this movie, it was like, it was two or three things. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. Number one, there's a character in particular in this movie. You have to like question, what is their role again? Because I thought this was their job title, but they're acting like they're this instead. You know what I'm saying? So I really feel like they should have just literally switched the job title. It would have been something so simple like that, and it would have made sense for that character to be doing and acting how he was acting. You know what I'm saying? Another thing is getaway options. There's one scene in particular, they decide to go with option B instead of option A. And when I tell you option B, it's like where the hell that come from? Why is that an option? Where were y'all going to go? Okay, so that was another one I was like, okay. And lastly, unaliving. Do y'all remember in Scream, the last Scream with Cuban Gooding Jr.'s son? I can't remember his name. Cuban Jr. Him, and he got stabbed up by both mass killers, and he was still alive at the end. Yeah. Okay. It had me Googling, can you survive multiple stab wounds? Like, it really had me Googling, like, is this possible? I don't think so. And it's a character in this particular movie. And you're thinking, like, yeah, they should be dead. And then they're not dead. So it's like, okay, sure. Now, granted, 2 out of those 3 things were at the end of the movie. So y'all already know how it goes when everybody's like, oh, it's a good movie until the end. I feel like this movie kind of falls into that category. All right. Speaking of the end, there is a final scene in this movie that is so cringe. I don't know if it was improv or if it was written to target Gen Z, Gen Alpha, but it was just like, what is happening right now? Matter of fact, it was probably improv, because what the hell? What was this scene even? Throw the whole scene away and just end it with them walking out. You know what I'm saying? If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. All right, and lastly, I feel like this isn't a spoiler because y'all know how these franchises work. They leave it open for a possible sequel. All right, my rating, I'm gonna give this movie a 3.5 out of 5. Okay, like I stated, most of the good things were at the beginning, and it wasn't until right at the end, literally right at the end, like the last 10 minutes of the movie is kind of when it was like, okay, sure. And also when it comes to this particular franchise, I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. Well, I Know What You Did Last Summer franchise. They have never been good movies per se. They've always been like a B movie compared to the screen, you know, like a copy. Everybody wants to do the whodunits with the little teenage friend group. So I never had high expectations for this film, and that's probably why I gave this rating so high. I do recommend you go see this movie. If you're a horror fan, go ahead and go see it. Spend your coin. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like horror films, and I have a guilty pleasure for bad ones. So I'm gonna go see it anyway. Even if I'm like, oh, I know this gonna suck, I'm gonna go see it anyway. That's me, right? So I definitely recommend you seeing it, but if you want to wait until it comes on Netflix, that's fine too. But I know for a fact you're going to watch it because nostalgia, right? That's that cash grab. All right. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. I am done with the spoiler-free section. So if you haven't seen the movie, like the video so you could come back to it after you've seen it so we can talk about the spoilers. If you have seen it, let's go ahead and talk about some of these scenes. Let's talk about some of these scenes in the movie that I felt like I just got to talk about, right? Starting with the cast. So I do feel like they did a good job recasting people who kind of look similar to the originals. I feel like they did a good job with the baby Freddie Prinze Jr., Jonah Hewitt-King, who, after looking at his IMDb, this is Prince Eric, y'all, from The Little Mermaid. Oh, that just made his scene break my heart. Okay, so I feel like they did a good job with that, and they did a good job recasting Sarah Michelle Gellar's role, who went to Madeline Sleen. I believe that's how you pronounce her last name. So those two characters were just visibly identifiable, and you could tell that they were inspired by their legacy characters. So in this particular movie, all the friends are back in town for Donica. Her name is Donica. That's Madeline Sleen's character. She and Teddy are getting married, so that is why everybody comes back in town, and they want to go see fireworks like they used to do when they were all in high school. Okay, so they go to this like bend. I think they call it like Dead Men's Bend or something like that, to watch fireworks. Now look at this picture. There is no shoulder on this road, so they are literally parked damn near in the middle of the street. But they get mad at Teddy for literally being in the middle of the street, causing two cars to swerve to avoid hitting him. So y'all already know, like in the original movie, they hit somebody with their car, right? And it's even like a little psych out scene where they're like, watch out, and it's like, arr! And you're thinking that they hit somebody, but Teddy starts laughing like, I'm just playing, I'm just messing with y'all. That was one of the psych outs that I really liked. All right. But like I said, they didn't hit anybody, but they did make somebody accidentally wreck their car. I didn't like the fact that they were blaming Teddy for this. Like, oh, Teddy, you were in the middle of the road. Teddy was standing right where he is now in this picture. If y'all can see that, let me make it bigger for y'all. Teddy is standing right where he is now, no further in the street than everybody else, but yet they want to blame Teddy for the person swerving off of the road, instead of the fact that y'all are parked your car in the middle of the road to watch fireworks. So I didn't like that, first and foremost, especially because he's the only like black person in the movie. Sure, Blaine is a black guy. I wish that's what he would have said. But anyhow, some person swerved, kept going, and the second car swerved and ran through the guardrail. They did try to save the person, but to no avail. The car goes over and that person is unalive. Now in this particular scene, Teddy lost his jacket. I definitely thought that was going to come back up in a later scene. It did not. Maybe it was in one of the deleted scenes, but it didn't make the final cut, because it's like, why would they show him taking his jacket off if that jacket wasn't going to like show up in his closet one day? You know what I'm saying? So missed opportunity there. So yes, of course, a year goes by. Nobody talks to one another anymore, except for these two characters, Donica and Stevie. They remained close while Ava went on her depression. Teddy started drinking, and I don't even know what the heck Milo been up to. I don't know what Prince Charming was up to, okay? But of course, they come back together because Donica is getting remarried to somebody new. Well, not remarried, but she's re-engaged to somebody new. And on the way back to town, Ava brings her, not even her date, but just somebody she met at the airport, this true crime podcaster person who I actually liked her character. We'll talk about her in a little bit. And now they're of course back in town, and that's when they get the letter of, I know what you did last summer. I'm not gonna hold you, I figured out the killer pretty soon in this scene. I figured out the character at that very moment, but the movie did take me on a ride to where I forgot until later on. I was like, oh yeah, I knew I was right type, you know what I'm saying? All right, so I liked how they did introduce more characters to Unalive along the way, because if it was just the gang of 5 and at least one person has to survive, I was like, this movie gonna be over pretty quick. But we saw that in the sneak peek that Donica's new fiance was harpooned, and then this true crime podcaster girl, she was unalived as well. But I really liked her character. I kind of wanted her. I mean, I feel like she was brought in as a misdirect and definitely to do the exposition dump. But I kind of liked her. I liked her vibe. I was feeling her a little bit. I wanted her to hang around a little bit longer. All right. So another thing I want to talk about is the emotional death scenes. I'm not gonna lie to you, I googled Milo's character played by Jonah Hewer-King. I googled him in the movie because I was like, he looked like Freddie Prinze Jr. Let me see if they're related. And they're not related, but that's when I found out that he was Prince Eric from The Little Mermaid, and he was in a little sex scene. They didn't go all the way, but I was like, not Prince Eric in a sex scene. You could never catch Haley, right? Haley, I could never pronounce it right, but you could never catch Haley Bailey in the scene. People would just like, oh, she's a Little Mermaid, but Prince Eric could do whatever he want to do. Okay, I'm just saying. But after that, he is unalived in the most ironic way, and his death was kind of like, it toyed with us, because you were like, oh, the killer's in the back seat. Oh, well, when he get back up, the killer's gonna be there. And it's like, oh, where the killer at? And then the killer comes out of nowhere. And it's ironic because him and Ava getting intimate, she wants him to choke her, and he's like, nah, I can't do that. And he ends up getting choked to death. And I just thought that was so sad. I was like, oh, he didn't want to do it. He was trying to work himself up to doing it. And that's exactly how he went out. So yeah, I didn't like that. And then his body was left in the car, made it seem like, you know, he was upset with Ava. So he's just drove off, and he's ignoring everybody. So nobody even knows that he's dead until they find his body in the car that popped up out of nowhere. Suspend disbelief, right? Another emotional death is Teddy's death. Okay, Teddy, played by Tyreek Withers. I liked his character, I really did. And it was a point in the movie where he saved Donica, and he like basically tackled the killer and was like, yeah, get out of here if I beat you, right? So then he goes to the gym later on in the movie. He's like, yeah, I'm about to get tight so I can whoop this ass. You know what I'm saying? Like he ready. And I love that for you, Teddy. I love that for you. And I liked his whole scene. I liked his whole death scene. I really did. It was like this statue in the middle of the hallway. And I'm like, oh my God, that's the killer. But I'm like, he walks so close to it. I'm like, is that not the killer? Is that just a statue? But no, it was, who knows? It probably was a statue and then the killer came. Who knows? But it was the killer. I'm like, Teddy, do you not see him? But anyways, it was a fight scene, baby. Teddy was not going out with a fight, a literal fight, but he was getting stabbed up here, there, and eventually, you know, he succumbed to his injuries. It was very reminiscent to me of Scream, in the opening scene when Drew Barrymore sees her parents, and she was like, and they can't hear her. And Teddy did the same thing, and it made me so sad, you guys. It made me so sad. But eventually, his dad, the killer rings the doorbell, so his dad comes outside, sees Teddy, embraces him. Teddy dies in his arms, and then the killer kills his dad. Now, his dad is the realtor of the city, you know what I'm saying? And but he moving like he the mayor. So that's the person whose role I was kind of like, it makes no sense. But so Teddy and his father are both unalive, and they are displayed in the middle of basically Times Square, and people are just staring at them like, are y'all some weirdos? If I saw two unalive bodies hanging from the air, posed like they're fish, I'm not gonna just stand there and stare at them like, are y'all, what's wrong with y'all? What is wrong with y'all? And I just felt like that was really a disrespectful way to go out. It made sense for his dad to be like that because his dad kept trying to cover up what was happening. But Teddy, I don't know, bro. That just they almost got me. I almost cried. They almost got me with that one. All right, let's go ahead and go to the killer motivation. The killer and the motivation. All right. Like I stated, I figured out who the killer was early on in the movie, but I kind of just got wrapped up in the movie. And it wasn't until they were on their getaway boat. Yes, getaway boat. Where I was like, 3 girls made it. They killed off all the guys. I wonder why they would do that. And then I was like, oh yeah. Oh girl, where old girl at? I knew it was her. So Stevie, who is the outcasted friend, she is the unaliver. And she is doing it because she did not know at the time, but they made her boyfriend run through the guardrail. All right. And of course, after she found out who the body was, it was her boyfriend. So she wanted to kill her homegirl. She wanted to kill their boyfriends or fiancés or exes or whatever. I'm gonna kill the people closest to you so you know how it felt, and then I'm gonna kill you. So I was like, okay, all right, motivation, understood, typical, you know what I'm saying? But then I immediately thought she can't do it by herself because Teddy was whooping that mass killer's ass. That had to be, somebody got to be helping her. So who could be helping her? And then you would think it was the pastor, but he was taken out too. So I was like, who is the? Y'all, not Freddie Prinze Jr. Not Freddie Prinze Jr. was helping, what's her name? Sarah was helping Stevie unalive the gang of friends. And he is upset because the town went about their business and covered up their 1996-7 horror and acted like nothing happened. So he was like, you know what? Your life shouldn't be derailed because of them, and I'm gonna help you get your revenge. And what? It's like, I didn't watch the third installment. I was like, when did he turn bad? When did he? I mean, I guess it makes sense why he would want to help her, but not really, because why would you want to traumatize another group of kids after what you done been through? You know what I'm saying? Jennifer Love Hewitt does come back towards the end. I thought she would be the one to take down Freddie Prinze Jr. character, but she was not. So to me, that was a waste. But yeah. So the last two remaining characters are Donica and Ava. So you know they're probably going to be in the sequel because they left it open to where Stevie is not dead. I was like, if anybody, leave Freddie Prinze Jr. alive. Stevie can go. Okay, she can go. But so we know she's still alive. They know that they have to get her. And then don't leave at the end of the movie because there is a mid-credit scene where Jennifer Love Hewitt goes to Brandy's house and she was like, I received a note. It's not over. But basically, yeah, they left it open to a sequel. And I know that we were all excited for Brandy, which is why I waited for the mid-credit, because I was like, where the heck is Brandy? I could have sworn that she said she signed up for this. And technically, she signed up for the next one. So thank y'all so much for tuning into my channel. If you enjoy my commentary, please give the video a thumbs up. Leave your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. If you have a spoiler comment, please write spoiler in all caps before you type your comment, just in case we got some people here who have not seen the movie. All right. Once again, thank y'all so much for tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see y'all next time. Bye.